Hey, Saad here. Today I'm going to show you how to onboard your clients for your automation or self-service agency so you can provide that great client experience that makes them stick around and keep paying. This is the exact onboarding flow that I've used up to 25K a month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the thought process behind each step. And I'm also going to give you all the resources, templates you can get up and running as quickly as possible. That way you can avoid all the headaches and keep your clients happy and locked in. So let's get into it.
First of all, what is onboarding? Well, onboarding is simply what happens right after a client says yes to working with you, meaning after you get paid and receive the notification, okay? Basically the first steps, okay? So you take these first steps to welcome them, guide them, and get the project started right away. So it's essentially the bridge between you got a client and you're actually doing the work, okay? So a great onboarding takes care of 4 things, right? And I'm going to explain to you in details today. And I'm also going to leave you the blueprints and the templates that will enable you to have a great onboarding. That way you will have the best success possible, okay? So a great onboarding takes care of 4 things. The first thing is buyer's remorse. So buyer's remorse is simply the worry or regret a client might feel right after working with you, okay? So a good onboarding makes the client feel good about their decision to hire you and work with you, okay? So think about it. When someone buys a service, they have this voice in their head and they ask themselves, did I make the right choice? Did I make the right purchase, right? So if you don't quickly show them that you're trustworthy, they might feel regret, okay? So we want to minimize that. And how do we minimize that? Well, with a great onboarding, okay? So it becomes really hard to work with that client if you don't show them that you are trustworthy, okay? Or even leave you in the future. So if you don't minimize the buyer's remorse, they will become a nightmare to work with and they might even leave you in the future, okay? So we don't want that, right? So the second thing is that it sets expectations from the beginning. This is really, really important because it's where you tell the client what will happen, how you will work, and what they can expect from you, okay? So I always make sure that the client knows when I'm available, okay? This is called defining the availability, and it depends on your actual calendar, okay? So what I say is I'm available Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., okay? So they can reach out to me, they can ask me any questions they want from 10 to 2 p.m., and I usually just batch all my clients during that period, okay? That way, you don't have to answer messages late at night. Yeah. What you say is, I'm available on X, from X to Y. Okay. You can ask me anything you want. And then that way they don't ask you silly questions during non-working hours. Maybe you're just doing something else. That way you say it upfront and they understand, they know what to expect, okay? A good onboarding also makes it easy, right? And it makes it very, very frictionless to retain these clients, meaning you're going to get them on a retainer later on in the future. So the easier, and I should make this all caps, the simpler, right? The easier and simpler your onboarding is, the more likely your client will think, wow, that was smooth. This person knows what they're doing. They made it super easy for me, and I'd love to keep this going, okay? So the goal of this onboarding that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is to minimize as many steps for the client, right? That way they don't get they don't get confused, okay? Because think about it, right? And let me just give you like a real life example. So back then when I wanted to purchase a car, like I really wanted that car, right? And these salespeople, they make it super hard for you to just pay them money, okay? Like all this paperwork, all this crazy stuff, when in reality, I want that car. You don't have to do anything else, okay? I thought about it, like they could have retained me. Like they could made the experience way, way, way better, right? Just by minimizing the steps and literally just, in this case, like onboard me as quickly as possible so I can basically just get my car, right? So the key here is just minimize the steps for your clients, make the onboarding super, super easy and seamless, very smooth. It's like you're taking them through a very smooth journey, okay? So always keep that in mind, okay? Another thing is that it shows a clear path to ROI, which means return on investments. So a good onboarding triggers a dopamine hit in their brain, in your prospects or client's brain, so they feel good, okay? And it helps the clients understand how your work will bring them results, aka more sales, more clients, less stress, etc. And it shows them a clear path, okay? So you literally show them okay, here's what's going to happen when you work with me, and here's your return on investment. Okay. This is what you paid for. Okay. So you guys have to understand that clients want to feel progress fast, even if it's just small things. Okay. So this is basically the thought process of this onboarding. So let me walk you guys through the automations. Okay. Obviously they're going to be in the resource down below. Just copy, plug and play, and just plug them into your business. Okay. So the first one is this one right here. So this is MyoProcess HQ client onboarding. Essentially this flow, I've used it. I did not use this on my first, when I got my first client. My first client was pretty much everything was manual. So this first and second client was, everything was pretty much manual. And in a third client, I was like, okay, I need to automate some of this stuff. Okay. So when I built these systems, I used them from third clients all the way to like 25K a month, which was awesome because I didn't have to change my processes. So I can actually focus on the highest ROI tasks, which is actually talking to people and getting on conversations with decision makers that are interested in my workflows, in my services, aka my automations, my sales system, which is exactly what moves the needle. So it took me a little while to actually come up with this onboarding because I had to go through the manual way, and then I was like, okay, this is worth automating, right? Okay, let me just automate it. And it was the right thing to do because if I tried to automate everything from the get-go, well, I will end up like rebuilding the flows as I go, okay? So what do we have here? We have basically just a Stripe notification watch events. You do not need to use Stripe, but I mean, think about it. You're starting a business. Stripe just makes it super, super easy, frictionless for the clients. You can use PayPal. I tried PayPal, but I just don't like when companies hold my funds, right? To be fair. So I just use Stripe. Stripe is just easier, right? It just makes you look like a professional. And think about it. Like I said, you're building a real business and you need a payment processor. Okay. If you don't want to use Stripe, that's fine. Although, like, I would ask you why you don't want to use Stripe, right? Because it just makes it frictionless for you, right? So you can actually focus on the things that make you money. But yeah, you can use PayPal or you can use Wise or something, okay? But I always recommend you guys use Stripe, okay? So watch events, and then this is just like a module called retrieve customers. So essentially I'm just retrieving their first name, last name, email, company name, the quotes, basically how much they paid, right? And then I'm basically just adding this to my CRM, right? In my ClickUp CRM, and I'm going to walk you guys through how it works. And then I'm just waiting 5 minutes, okay? And then I have a router, okay? So a router that's going to send them one first email, okay? So right now I'm sending them like a thank you email, and then I'm sending them the onboarding. So this flow takes care of two things, okay? The first thing it takes care of is reducing the buyer's remorse, okay? So just an email, right? Just an email, like a thank you email that gets sent to their inbox once they pay. It's something that they get, okay? So it reduces that buyer's remorse. You're providing value like from the get-go, okay? Which is really, really good for retention, okay? And also reduces buyer's remorse, okay? So here's the email. So welcome to MyoProcess, which is essentially my company. And then let me just walk you guys through the email. So let me just remove myself from here. Okay, so this is basically just HTML, okay? So thanks for taking care of that invoice so promptly. Beyond happy that we get the chance to work together and excited to nail this for you. I'll send you some onboarding instructions plus a calendar in a moment, and we can book a call to kick off the project. Looking forward to chatting with you, and I appreciate your business. And basically, thanks, Saad. So essentially just like a great email that they're going to receive, and clients just love receiving these types of emails, okay? This is the first email, and then we're just waiting another 5 minutes, and then we're sending them the onboarding question, which is this one. So, hey, first name, right? Next steps. So we have first name, next steps, and then we have follow-up email, just following up on my last email. Our next step is to book an onboarding call and fill out our onboarding form together. So as you guys can see, all my emails are next steps, next steps, next steps. That way, I'm showing them I'm providing them value of like from the get-go, right? So I'm just sending them my type form. If you're wondering what a type form is, essentially just a questionnaire that I showed multiple times. And this is the one. Let me just copy it and paste it here. Welcome to your onboarding with MyoProcess. So essentially they fill out this form, right? So what I would recommend is if you noticed here, okay, just so I can explain to you guys everything so you guys understand. So just following up on my last email, our next step is to book an onboarding call and fill out the onboarding form together. So this is what I always emphasize. So when you send them like this email where there's like a link of your onboarding call where they can book that onboarding call, you want to make sure they fill out this form together, okay, which is essentially their general business information. For example, we just type in XXX here, company. So essentially contact email, right? And then your offer and target audience. What is your offer? Be as specific as possible. So essentially just like a questionnaire that they're going to have to fill out. All right. So once that's done, I also give them, just like I said, the calendar link, which is this one right here, onboarding, which is onboarding with Saad. So short onboarding call to share access, discuss the project, and get started. Right. So this is basically 25 minutes. Very easy. Okay. And always make sure my calendar is empty because the onboarding is super important. Ideally, we'd do this in the next 48 hours or so to get started as soon as possible, but I'm also cognizant of your schedule. Let us know whenever works best for you. And if you need anything else from us in the meantime, see how the lingo, the communication is just very straightforward, very clear. It's not confusing. Thanks for the time, son. Okay, so they received these 2 emails. And then let me just actually walk you guys through how these emails would look in the client's end. So I was going to pretend that we have like a notification from Stripe right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to go to tools, set multiple variables. I'm just going to pretend that we have a webhook from Stripe. Unlink this, put this right here. And then we have first name. For example, just put Peter, right? Last name. Or let's just do John Doe. Okay. We also have here the company name. For example, Atlas LLC. And then we have, for example, their email, which is, I'll just put my email here. Okay. And then we also have the quotes, which is essentially how much they pay, how much they paid. $4,095. Okay. That's pretty much it, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So let's just run this once. Run this module only. So I'm going to get this. Well, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add this to my CRM. So this is exactly how we do it. So the task name is first name and last name. And then the email is basically the email, which is email. And the quote is quote. And save. Okay, again, we're going to do the same thing here. So email. And email is going to be email. And then the name. If you're wondering why do I have the get split, simply because Stripe doesn't give you like first name, it gives you full name. So I'm just splitting first name and last name based off a space, and I'm getting one. Okay, it's basically like a basic make.com formula. So hey, first name, save. Okay, the email again is going to be here, right? So email, and then again, first name, next steps. Sweet. So save. Now I'm just gonna, I think I have to add a few things. Yeah. So hi, first name. Okay. So wait 5 minutes. I'm just going to put 1 second here, or just 3 seconds. And then again, 3 seconds here. Okay. So let me just run once. So looks like I have an error here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Quote should be just 4,095. Yes, because Stripe doesn't doesn't add the $sign, and in my ClickUp field, I have basically like a money field. So right now, if I run once, I'm not gonna have that issue. Okay, so if I go to my ClickUp, I will see that there we go, John Doe. Their quotes, right? We forgot to add the company name, right? And then we have the email here. If you see this client response, don't worry about it. I'm gonna walk you through what it means later on, okay? So let me go back to my system here. So we send the email. So let me just check the email. Okay, so this is the first one. welcome to my process. Hey, John, thanks for taking care of that invoice, etc. Right? See how beautiful it is? And then we have the next steps. And check this out. So following up on my last email. So essentially they just click on this form, right? They book a call, which is, do you mind booking a slot here, which is beautiful. Such as HTML. They can just click on this. Boom, which is awesome, right? And it's beautifully formatted. Okay, let's just take care of the company name. Looks like I forgot to add the company name here. Yeah, company. Okay, sweet. So basically this is the flow, right? This is what they receive. Okay. Now I know you might be wondering, Saad, like what do we have? Like, why do you add like a client response? Okay. So let me explain. Okay. So this is the second flow. So this is the second flow. So when I'm on a call with them, right? I'm on a call with them. We're both filling out the form, right? So we have a flow here that watches these response on Typeform. Okay. So basically watch responses. So this module acts like a webhook, right? That just watches those responses, catches those responses, okay? And then have AI to basically structure the responses, okay? Because let me walk you guys through it actually. So let me go to my Typeform here. And then let me show you like an example client and how the responses actually look. So this is how the responses are structured in Typeform. Now I just want to have these responses structured using AI and just add them to a Google Doc, right? So I can just access the Google Doc, and then when I'm basically working on a project, right? Or maybe if I would just want to send this to a VA that's going to handle lead scraping or like copywriting, I can just send them to Google Doc and I don't have to worry about like giving them access to my Typeform, okay? Which is sensitive, right? So this is how it works. And then basically what I'm doing is just creating a channel for the clients, right? Using Slack. I would recommend you guys use Slack. It's very straightforward. You can just batch all your clients there, right? Again, if you just want to work via email, that's fine too, but just find Slack way better. And then what I'm doing is I'm setting the topic of the channel. The topic of the channel is essentially just like a brief little description of that channel, okay? And then I'm sending them an email. Okay, this is a hack you guys can use. So in order for you to use the Slack, well, you need like the ultimate plan, I believe. And I tried it for like a month, and it just doesn't make sense to upgrade to the ultimate, whatever the name is. And so I'm just using like the basic plan right now, right? I don't have to like pay for it, and it's just not worth it for me. Like I don't think you need it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sending them a link to join Slack, because in order for you to send an invitation to that client's email, you need the higher plan, right? Which doesn't make any sense. So there's a hack. So the only thing you have to do is you go to Slack. You want to click on this plus button, right? Invite people, right? And then you copy. You see this copy invite link, right? So this is what you do. So you copy it, right? It never expires, which is awesome, right? And then here's what to do. You go back and you simply paste it here, right? And then they click on it and they just join. It's kind of like a way to like bypass that BS of like Slack wanting you so bad to upgrade. Okay. So they click on join, right? After that, I'm defining my availability, which is super crucial. This is exactly what we talked about here. So basically, this is just like a little bot that defines my availability. And let me just walk you guys through it. So for example, let's pretend we have a client, okay? So this is the webhook. Go to the Typeform, right? So welcome to your onboarding, which is this one. And let's pretend we have like a client here, okay? So let's just put, for example, Saad, my process, and then website, this is the website, and then email. Let's just do this. Let's just use this email. Yeah. So your offer and target audience, well, we build hands-off growth systems for B2B leaders. What's the benefit of your offer? Automating lead gen or connecting companies with their ideal clients. What sets you apart? We don't do no spray and pray, for example. Do you offer any guarantees? Would you consider doing, we work purely on performance. What is the biggest pain point of your ideal client customer? Lack of leads, no systematic approach to lead gen. Give us one description of who you sell to. I sell to B2B companies. And I speak to CEOs. Please provide a bullet list of 5 to 10 companies you'd consider to be ideal clients. Let's just put, for example, Stripe, Stripe.com. Just an example. Actually, I should have put like Stripe. Okay, that's fine. So Stripe.com. Give us some title of the ideal customer has. Okay, so founder, CEO, manager, and partner. Okay, I'm gonna put all of these. They don't have a consistent qualified pipeline of leads. Our approach to scripting revolves using questions. Can you think of any questions that your prospects would likely be responsive to? Imagine a scenario where we're making a cold call to them. How much are you currently spending to acquire one client? And then I'm going to click on OK. Please check the box below. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to unlink this. I'm going to run once. And then I'm just going to click on submit, confirm, and submit. Thank you for your time. I'm going to receive this and I'm going to have it in my Google Doc. Boom. So right now I can just go to web view link. And essentially I have everything here. Okay. So I have the company profile, right? I have everything here, right? I can just basically just fix this right here. Boom. Offer details. And as you guys can see, my process client side form, I can essentially just there we go. And I have basically everything here, right? What makes them better? We don't do this. Basically just copy and paste, right? In a Google Doc, right? So now what do? Well, I'm going to create a channel for the client and email them. Okay. So emailing them. Now let me just do it again, right? All right. Let me just my process, email. We build leaders. Okay. Lack of leads. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else you should know about ideal clients? Lead generation methods. Confirm. Now I can confirm again and check this out. So there we go. Creating a doc. I'm creating a channel for the clients. Send an email. Now if I go here, you guys will see. Let's go back. I go to channels. I will see Saad Maya Process Playground. So you'd have like client first name with their company name, for example, like John at whatever company they have, Playground. And check this out. So Saad joined Maya Process Playground, set the topic as, hey Saad, welcome to your communication channel. So hey client name, welcome to your communication channel. Hey Saad, here's a quick rundown of what you can expect. Availability. Our best way to stay in touch is via Slack. I'm available from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. just like I said, Monday to Saturday for any questions or updates. I also include Saturday, right? Because I also work Saturdays and Sundays. I'm that guy. Progress updates. I'll send you progress updates twice a week. So you're always in the loop of what's happening. Looking forward. So basically on the kickoff call, they just fill out a form, right? We talk about everything. And then once they click on that button, they already see that they received this, right? Which is awesome. So they reply to you, hey, thanks, Saad. Yeah, looking forward. I love this onboarding, right? So this is basically the bot, right? Essentially just a bot. If you guys are wondering how to build this, just let me know in the comment down below. Just build this from scratch, end to end for you. And then we also sent an email. So let's just check this email. So there we go, your Slack notification. Hey Saad, here's the link to join your Slack. So they click on join, boom, and they're in my Slack. See how it's so smooth? Like it's just, there's nothing, like there's no errors, there's no problems, there's no like discovery call and like closing call. There's no like, it's very easy and seamless for them, okay? So again, what we've done is we've tackled buyer's remorse, right? By providing value from the get-go. We set the expectation early from the beginning and then defining the availability, and it's very easy and smooth. And also we made sure that we show them a clear path to ROI using this message right here. I'll send you progress updates twice a week, so you're always in the loop of what's happening and looking for it, okay? So essentially, this is how you onboard a client as a sales agency owner. Obviously, you can like take these and apply them to your, like, let's say you're selling just generic automation. In your case, you would just change the onboarding to whatever you are including in your deliverables, okay? But I would always recommend you guys sell sales systems because they just like fix the client acquisition hurdle for clients and for companies, because clients only care about customers. They don't care about shiny automations, okay? Because they don't have any outcome, right? Or payoff. So essentially this is all you have to do right now. I'm just going to leave you all the blueprints in the description. So the only thing you have to do now is essentially just get out there, take action. I believe in you. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.